TOA community, Fit Body Forever, and Fit Body Bootcamp communities. Welcome everybody. I am Robert Linkul with TrainingTheOlderAdult.com, bringing you a mini series on weight room etiquette, which we are going to talk about one of my favorite topics today. One of my favorite things that I would say is probably more of a pet peeve than anything else: spotting correctly in the weight room. I am going to say this: there are two lifts that you spot in the weight room, and that's it. There are plenty of lifts that you can assist on. One would be, say, doing pull-ups. Partner's doing a pull-up, they're starting to struggle. I grab them by their lats, lift them up, allow them to do a force negative or a eccentric controlled return to the bottom. Totally acceptable. Partner's doing blaster-based preacher curl or whatever curl you want to do. They're struggling to get some extra reps. I help lift the bar up so they can do some eccentric. Totally acceptable. But as far as spotting the lift, in understanding that if the lifter fails, they're going to be in trouble, there's two lifts. The first one is the bench press. When spotting at the bench press, I'm going to zoom in here for you. We spot the bar. If you're barbell bench pressing, you spot the bar. You do not spot their hands. You do not spot their wrists. You do not spot their elbows. You spot the bar. And you do so just like the gentleman on the bottom and the white is doing. You turn slightly sideways in a position where you may actually straddle the lifter's head slightly, right? You don't need to teabag them. I mean, you just stay back a little bit, okay? And turn sideways enough to where you can do I can't believe I just said that, a palm down, palm up grip, alternate grip. And you're in a position to use your glutes and your hamstrings, if they were to fail, to pull that bar and basically do a top half deadlift to take it off of them. To do that properly, you are going to have to stand pretty much over their face to do that. Trust me, as the lifter, if you're failing and you're in trouble, you don't mind if somebody's standing over your face in that moment. Hopefully, ideally, they're wearing one of our fancy little sweat headbands that we learned about in the last video, right? Other than that, help me. I need help. If you are a foot behind them on your tiptoes with a double pronated grip, trying to French press the bar, or reverse curl the bar off of their face, you're toast. Not only is the bar going down, you're going for a ride. You're going to end up, cattywampus on top of them. There's another term for that with two numbers that I'm not going to say and get this completely demonetized. Not that I make any money off my videos yet. We're working on it. Someday, we hope, fingers crossed, you end up in that position, okay? And now you're embarrassed, you're hurt, the lifter's hurt, it's a mess. So don't be afraid to get in and spot correctly. If you're going to spot from the dumbbells, with the lifter that's using dumbbells, we do not spot from the elbows, always from the wrist. Now, as another example, this gal here in the, turquoise pants, if this lifter is to fail and she's going to grab the forearms, grab the wrist and start to help him, she's going to end up tipping forward onto her knees and toes and probably end up on top of the lifter as well. So you want to be in a hinged or a low squat position or down on a knee so you have the ability to grab the wrist and lift up and or at least guide the weights back to their chest, not hurting them. If I'm struggling, driving, pushing, and I like to, maybe narrow bench press just a little bit, and you grab my elbows and lift my elbows up, it basically just collapses the weights in. You're forcing my elbows up, putting more stress on my triceps. If my triceps, as an example with me, are not as strong as my chest, as most people's aren't, their arms are not going to be able to hold those 80, 90, 100-pound dumbbells, and they're going to end up wearing that weight, which has happened to me in the past, which gave me costochondritis, torn cartilage between my ribs, and 2 broken ribs. Really painful, very uncomfortable injury. So to save you from that, always spot from the wrist if you're using dumbbells and be in a good, strong position where you can at least guide the weights back to their chest and then help them sit up if they can't manage the weights on their own. If you're going to spot via the bar, get into that good position and be able to assist from there. Bringing the bar in and out is 100% dependent on the lifter's request. If they want, hey, give me a lift, help me out, or when they're done, if you want help to bring the bar in, ask the lifter what they want. If you have had to spot them, especially with the barbell, definitely bring them in. Don't help them lock out and then say, okay, you got it from here, bro. Bring them all the way in. But some people don't like you to touch the bar at all. Let me take it out. Let me do my set. Let me put it back. I just need you here just in case. Or I don't want to waste any energy in the beginning. Let me start from the locked out position. Help me out with the bar. Let go. And now I got it. All right. So there's your bench press. The back squat, same thing. If we're going to spot, number one, you're going to spot with the arms under the armpits and then hooking around the inside of the chest. This is a sensitive spot, and it's the safest way to spot because you're now hooking the lifter and you're able to basically forklift and help lift them out of their squat position using your entire body in the safest position possible. If you simply just grab the bar and try to lift up, you're not going to be very much help. And if the lifter starts going down, you definitely aren't going to be able to help them up at all from that position. Mind you, gentlemen, spotting the ladies, be cautious with your hands. Basically make two fists, hook under the armpits and hook right against their shoulders, right against the bicep and the deltoid and the start of the pec, right over the coracoid process, if you will, and just pull your hands into their shoulders and lift up. Ladies, spotting, etc. Gentlemen, you're maybe going to have to get in real close because the guys maybe are a little bit bigger. Don't be afraid to get in there and help lift up. Even though you think, oh, I'm tiny, how much can I possibly help? You're helping. Okay, you're another human being who's fresh. I am a struggling lifter who's not fresh and is maybe not finishing the lift. So your 30, 40, 60 pounds of whatever that you're trying to give me, it's helping. So don't be afraid to get in there and help me come up. That's why I asked you to spot me in the first place, is I may need your help. I don't just want another person standing here to watch me do this. You can stand over there and watch. But if I need your help, I need you in here to spot me. And I trust you. If you're bigger than me, smaller than me, I trust you. That's why I've asked you to spot me. When they come down and they start to struggle, a couple of things can happen here. If you have safety catches, basically you can just make sure the lifter ends up not smashing their head or scraping their head on the bar once the safety catches take the weight. Many times the lifter will go down, the safety catches will secure the weight, and the lifter will fall forward onto their knees and then fall back and hit their head onto the bar, or vice versa. They'll fall backwards on their butt and the bar will catch and then scrape and smack their head forward back into the squat rack. Ideally, the safety catches are there for the last case scenario, which is they have to dump the bar, let it go. And if that is the case, you, the lifter, need to tell your spotter, I have to dump the bar, because the spotters often will have their arms underneath your armpits. And if you release the bar, now whatever you're squatting is now ending up on my bicep tendon and getting yanked down to the safety catches, because I'm not going to Zercher squat your 500-pound one rep. So communication is key. If we have safety catches, know when you're going to use them and how, and what the spotter's job is. If you don't have safety catches, it's up to the spotter to help you get out of the squat. And I would encourage you to understand and not hope lift. You need to know lift. I don't hope I can do this. I know I can do this, okay? And that can be challenging when you're like, I'm going to go for a one rep. But if your current one rep is 275 and you decide to go to 330, that might be too big of a jump. Maybe I'm just hoping that I can do it now. But if you go from 275 to 290, that's a lot more reasonable and understandable. That I'm pretty sure if you just did 2 at 275 or 1 at 275 and it was super fast and easy, then I'm pretty sure you can do 1 at 290. I want to know that you can do it. I don't want to hope that you make the lift and end up hurting one of us. So keep that in mind. Those are the only 2 lifts. We don't spot anything else. Anything else. You don't spot the deadlift. You go to competitions and you see people spotting the deadlift. Their job is to make sure the deadlifter, when they set the bar down, doesn't black out and land on top of the bar with their face. That's their job. You'll see them hold their hands by their back. Their job is to grab their waist if they start to get dizzy and they start spinning. Their job is not to help them set the bar down. Overhead pressing, if you're struggling and you're not going to make it, me standing behind you trying to help your arms up via the wrist still, if you can make this lift or you can't. The 2 big lifts where you need a spotter are lifts where I'm going to get stuck under the bar and I can't get out, the bench press and the back squat. Any other lift, you should be able to bail on the weight and save yourself and not put other people in harm's way. Any questions on that, let me know. If not, I hope you enjoyed this, learned some good stuff. My name is Robert Linkul, trainingtheolderadult.com. Please subscribe, hit that like button, follow, ring the bell, do all that good stuff. Share with anybody you think this might be good, useful information with. And until next time, please continue to fight your good fight against sarcopenia. Take care.